Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Timmy B, host of the Fight Insight podcast. Today, very exciting episode. We talk about and recap WrestleMania that went on last weekend. We see what can we learn from WrestleMania and how can we implement that into the UFC to make the product better. And aside from that, we meet for the very first time the babyface killer, Cameron Smotherman, who finally makes his return to the UFC. This dude, great kid, man. What a good personality. Can't wait to see him in his return to UFC. And I am here, of course, with my co-host, my friend, your friend, Brian Bam Bam Barberina.
Let's go! Timmy B, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight Podcast.
All right, Bam Bam. Look, we were supposed to have Chuck Buffalo on the podcast. We got lots of very rude and disgusting questions for him. But right before we started recording, which this is like the latest we can record for the week when we have to meet our obligations and whatnot, he said he couldn't make it because he has medicals to do. So no problem, Chuck Buffalo, go do your medicals, but you better goddamn come back here either next week or the week after.
We expect you to be here.
Yeah, I'm tired. I want to delete this off of my stream, right? My standard text here, hashtag.
If you're not, there you go. Hashtag, where is Chuck Buffalo?
Where's Chuck Buffalo? Look, he's going to come, man. He's going to come. I got lots of questions. It's so funny, though, because I was re-reviewing some of the stuff that I have wanted to ask him for over a year, and I come across, here's some homework for you, Bam Bam. I come across a Chael Sonnen YouTube video where Chael Sonnen is going hard in the paint on Chuck Buffalo. And I'm like, this freaking guy, like, I swear, really? I don't think Chael Sonnen paid attention to what was going on. I really have a lot of issues with the issues that people have on Chuck Buffalo. But we will see. Anyway, so next week or the week after, I apologize because we did put it on our Instagram that he was coming. He reposted it, so it's not like I'm imagining things, you know.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Yes, it is. It is a good sign. Honestly, I've learned that. Bam Bam, I do want to say I am now 9 days into Magic Mind. I think
9 days. Yeah.
9 days, maybe.
I think I'm 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm really liking it, dude. And we've talked about it to people. Go to magicmind.com. This is it here. That's the little shot, right, that you're taking.
Yes, sir.
And it does bop, bop, bop. Lion's mane for mental performance and a whole bunch of other things. Other stuff, thiamine for less stress. And then matcha for calm energy. And then you've got all your vitamins for vitality. What I will say, Bam Bam, it's so weird. I do feel more alert. I do feel more energetic. But also, I feel like I'm getting better sleep.
Well,
I don't know if that's...
great. Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of it, but I feel like then my body is like energetic at the right time, and then I'm not staying awake too late.
Yeah.
So
I definitely feel like a little boost of energy, a little boost of focus.
Yeah.
Since taking it, I'm definitely eager to continue on it and see more lasting results. As the longer you take something, the more results you get and really get to get in depth with it. So I'm excited. I like the little boost of energy right away that I'm feeling already. So just excited to get more of that and see where it takes me, especially with training wise and everything like that. It's it's nice to have that extra focus too while training. Mental prepare.
Yeah, very cool, man. So check it out. There's going to be a link that you can see in the show notes, but go to magicmind.com. They've got lots of great deals that are going on there. Always, they've got a money back thing. And then we have a promo code as well that you can use, but I'm going to put it in the show notes because I don't want to get it wrong and I don't want to say it wrong. So go get that and try it. And it's you take it for like 15 days, 30 days. Obviously, you can do it longer, but definitely you want to take at least 15 or 30 days so you can feel the difference. But I feel like I felt it within 2 or 3 days. I started to notice.
Yeah, I'd say that within like
cool.
the second, third day, to found the energy boost for sure. Yeah.
You like the taste of it?
I don't mind it. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Like
no, yeah.
I mean, it's not like most of the time you try some things, either they're like overly sweet or like have a funky kind of taste. I feel like it has a little bit of a different taste, but it's not bad, and I don't feel like it's not super sweet or anything. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Just a quick little shot too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy. But anyways, thank you to Magic Mind for sending it to us.
Yes,
Bam Bam. Here's something, man, that I want to get to before our first and only guest of the day, which is going to be the incredible UFC fighter Cam Smotherman. But I do want to show you this, Bam Bam, because it's so funny. We talked to the GFL fighter, Pani Kianzad.
Yeah.
Getting the jerseys ready. We're doing all our investigations. We're figuring this all out. We figure out the size of the venue. We're doing it all.
Yeah.
And then that week, they postpone it.
The next day.
The next day, people postpone it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in limbo. But what is crazy, Bam Bam, is that there's two different sides of media, or not even really. There seems to be one side of media. Everybody's saying that's it. It's never happening. Like I think it's Rogan, Bisbing, whatever. I've seen a lot of people kind of reporting going, yeah, this thing ain't happening, man. However, the official statement is that it's postponed and that it is still going to run in 2025. Here's the craziest thing, Bam Bam. I'm going to put on the screen here. Bang. How's your Chinese?
It's not
You can
good.
read that? No.
Yeah, I got it.
That is Miao Ding Super Mia. She was drafted. She was signed and drafted into GFL. She was booked to fight in that first two cards.
Okay.
She's now already posted. She's fighting April 26th for another promotion in China. How would a contract allow you to fight in other promotions? And we've seen other GFL fighters that also have put out that they're now getting other MMA fights.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, if it's not MMA, then, sometimes certain promotions allow that, right? But being if it's MMA, that's not a good sign. It's definitely not a good sign. Now, either they're breaching contract and doing it anyways because of the fact that they're not getting any information and that they've postponed the fights with no word on when they're actually going to fight or anything like that. But I mean, that's a bad sign for GFL, considering that their people are, pretty much jumping ship,
Well, it's weird because and I have a copy of a contract and I was trying to look at it at some point, but I swear the exclusivity ran from April till the end of 2025.
Okay.
Right? Which would have been the season.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Nothing says from the date of the first fight or something like that. So either these fighters are now getting approval to get into other fights, but Bam Bam, that's so messed up because if you go into that fight and get injured or something happens or you lose or whatever, what does that mean for your GFL future?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's one of those situations where, they feel just as many others do that this thing is really not going to happen,
Yeah. And then I gotta go. My career's passing me by.
Exactly. They don't want to sit on it like with PFL. They had the Bellator guys sitting for a while. They couldn't get other fights or whatever. So, the opportunities are there. They got to jump on them and take them. I will say that it sucks, there's potential of it being another good organization. Obviously, I didn't see it, blowing up right away and being as big as, the UFC. Obviously, they got to build to that and stuff, but some good things that were going to come of it. It seemed like they had a good backing, money-wise, but it seems to be all falling apart. I think they offered a lot of money to a lot of names, in the sport, and big money, and just could not back it.
And I'm putting up here, GFL fighters are taking other fights. What's funny is, like you said, depending on what kind of thing it is, because I did see a post about Chris Weidman, who's your friend. You know Chris Weidman, right?
I know Chris Weidman, yeah.
Yeah. It said Chris Weidman takes other fight in lieu of GFL or whatever. It's a jiu-jitsu match.
It's a grappling match. It's
that doesn't different. Matter. You're always, as far as I know, you're always allowed to do that while under UFC, right?
Yeah,
grappling, jiu-jitsu,
I believe so.
Fine.
Yeah, it's completely outside the scope. It's it's a completely different thing.
Right. Unless you're the stupid girl that did the grappling.
Sure you can't do what that girl did and take it for a fight and stuff, or in a camp when you already that was a signed fight.
No, I'm talking about Ashley Whiplash Steiner when her opponent took a combat jiu-jitsu fight and then gets concussed in the head with palm
Well,
strikes.
same thing. Even if she would have got her arm broke or whatever, or tweaked or something,
Sure.
she would have had to
Right.
pull out.
Yep.
So the risk of the fight, I don't, can't be doing that. That's silly.
So, anyways, I just think that's funny because this girl is someone that I've been wanting to have on the podcast, and so I've kind of been in talks with her about coming on the podcast, and we were kind of waiting it out, and then now I see that she's taking this fight in China, and I'm like,
well, there you go. That's a perfect time to get her on the podcast. Then she got a fight coming up.
The problem is, I don't want does GFL even know she's doing this? Like you said, you know what I mean? I'm sure they do, and I'm sure she's doing it proper and whatever, because there's other people. Kai Kamaka, or whatever that guy is, the former UFC fighter, he was in GFL, and I think I just saw a post saying he's got another fight already lined up. And it's like, what if GFL goes, hey, we're ready for next month?
Yeah.
Because in your training, you have to peak and do all that stuff, right? Like, you can't just take a fight and then within a couple weeks later I mean,
you can. There's definitely adjustments that need to be made and stuff, and but also too, like, promotions can hold you to that, just like GFL can hold them to that. If they go sign a contract for a different fight, and GFL's like, hey, we're gonna put you on this card or whatever, that other promotion could take legal action, but
yeah. I'm just trying to see on this illegal contract. Season exclusivity, April 1st, 2025 to November 30th, 2025. It doesn't make sense to me, man. I don't know how that all works out and how you're going to take this fight. But good for her, good for all the athletes that are continuing their career, because you can't just sit there on the sidelines and wait, because now they would have been waiting for like almost a full year, maybe more, for some of these fighters.
Yeah.
Waiting for the season to start. Now it gets delayed. You don't know when the hell the thing's going to start. You don't know if you're going to be picked, even if you're on the team, like Panny, right? Like, what if they pick the other bantamweight girl and not me, and now I don't even get to fight? So
yeah,
very confusing, very strange, but we'll keep track of that. I really feel like nobody is really talking about it. Nobody really cares.
I don't feel like, nobody's talking about it. Nobody knows also. So they're not coming out and saying anything, any details, and no fighters, no coaches, nothing. None of the managers or whatever that are assigned by GFL. No one knows anything. So
the only promotion they're getting is bad promotion, and this is not the case of like
any promotion.
Any press is good press. Bad press is good press. No, it's not, man. This needed to run smoothly, and the longer this delays, and the more your fighters start going off and doing other things, it really deters from the interest of the GFL. And it's like, I don't know, you got to figure this out, man. That said, look, I hope it all works out. You mentioned the champions in Bellator that didn't get fights. I don't know if we talked about it. Bader has been released. You see that?
I did. I think I've seen that. Yeah, I think he was. Was he talking?
Heavyweight champion.
Yeah, was he? I think he was talking with Risen or.
Really?
Thought I seen it, but could be mistaken.
Well, look, one of the guys that wanted Bader's head on a platter was friend of the podcast, Daniel the Predator James, and he is going over to Risen. Okay. He's going to Japan. He's fighting May 4th, I think it is. He's going to be on the podcast next
coming
week.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be on our podcast before he gets on the plane to Japan.
Awesome.
He's going to go kick some ass in a Grand Prix out there in Ryzen, which
sweet.
he wants a championship belt, man, and he's been waiting way too freaking long in PFL/Bellator. He was on our podcast before. He said essentially he kind of made it clear that they kind of screwed him over with some funky drug tests. They sidelined him, benched him. He had no fight. Bader wasn't fighting. He had what do you do if you're a fighter? Your goal is the championship belt.
Yeah.
And if the champion won't fight, I don't know what you're supposed to do. So anyways, he goes off to Ryzen. Very excited to have him next week. So we'll see him. Friends of the podcast update, I do want to say thank you to Rageworks Podcast Network. We're on their network. Go check them out at rageworksnetwork.com. And we're proud to be part of the Sweep the League network as well. So go check them out. Friend of the podcast, Mr. Entertainment, Ben Leese from Fight League Atlantic.
Yeah.
His fight won fight of the night for FLA 19. So very proud of him, man. He's a teammate of Mean Devin Turner, your Mohawk friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
great work. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, man. Very cool. And look, for everybody, we're excited to see what happens to them. We're excited to see where this goes. But, I'm very excited to see what happens with GFL. If this thing is a bomb or if this thing is not. I just want it to happen for the sake that I need all these freaking girls and guys to get their fights so that they can earn their contracts, earn their money. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before our guest gets here, so he should be coming soon. Did you watch WrestleMania?
I did not.
No, you did not. Your kids didn't want to watch it?
Missed it. No, I missed it.
They don't care about that stuff?
Normally we do watch some of the wrestling and stuff like that,
Oh, okay.
WrestleMania and stuff like that. We just this one happened to get by us, but
the benefit now is that it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I haven't really watched WWE pay-per-views in decades, maybe. Long time. But now that it's on Netflix, I'll watch it, and then not only that, but then I can watch it the next day or the next day or the next day. When I was a kid, I had to go to my grandpa's house. We would watch it together. And then that was it. If you had to go bathroom during the middle of it, there's no pausing, there's no nothing. That was it. Right. And so it's kind of cool. But I want to talk a lot about all the things that we can learn from WrestleMania, or what UFC should be learning from WWE, man, because now they're joint. They're one, like we talked about last week. We really think that the Netflix deal is obviously in the books, man. Every day that UFC doesn't come out and say we've re-signed with ESPN, it's Netflix.
I did see WWE that the man's back, Becky Lynch.
Oh, is that it?
She's back.
I don't even know who that is. Is she good?
Yeah, you didn't see her? She's the champ.
I saw her, but no, I don't think she is the champ. Is she?
I thought she won re-won the belt, or was the champ. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't catch it, so.
She's outside my time. She's during that
gap.
New.
She's definitely newer, yeah.
Right. So I don't really know her, but I did watch. Who was good was the first female fight in the second day, which was Io Sky, this Japanese girl, fought these two other girls, whatever. I don't know who they are, but that match was crazy. Very, very good, very high quality. That was pretty cool. And
John Cena won the belt, 17th time.
John Cena won the belt. Good for him.
John Cena.
Yeah, and then what was funny was last week I talked on the podcast saying about the guy at Fight League Atlantic that came out to the CM Punk song.
Yeah.
And so when CM Punk came out, that song hits, and I'm like, "That's a good song, man." And they're it really does talk to the importance of that good song thing, man. Because then even when, so this is one of the things I was going to talk about with what UFC needs to learn. One of them was the music.
Yeah.
And I know fighters pick good music. You always picked weird music and funny music, like Baby Shark one time and stuff like that. Things to get people going. It's funny. Bam Bam Barberina as well as Bam Bam Tai Tuivasa. Both of you guys picked fan favorite songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And really, for me, it wasn't even picking the song for the fans. My kids picked my walkout song, so
sure. Right, but your kids are picking songs that people like because they're kids,
Yeah, because they like them. They're in movies and things like that. That's really where they, hear the songs. Even older songs that I've walked out to, they're hearing them in movies and stuff. So they, reason they're grabbing to them, those older songs. But yeah, fan favorite songs for sure. And it's a big draw. It's fun to walk out to as well.
Right. So the thing is, so I was going to say, the Randy Orton song comes out, or Randy Orton comes out and his song, and everybody's chanting the song together. Yeah. How important, at some point, do you think UFC looks at that and goes, wow, man, because we were talking about Patty last week and how Patty has the chant and Patty has his song and all that. As a fighter, would you be okay if the UFC is like, hey, look, we want you to pick one song and we want you to really get branded behind it. We've got an idea of some songs for you, but these are the songs that we think could suit you as a fighter, and then try to brand you with that song. Would you be against that?
Maybe. I think that yeah, I would, because it's not for me, if it's okay, I walked out to this song a bunch of times and they're and then you're like about to walk out for another fight, and they're like, you say you want to walk out to this other song, and they're like, no, we want you to stick to your original song.
Yeah,
I can see that. And I've actually heard of situations where I know people who were in the UFC and stuff, and they had like an iconic walkout song it was their walkout song, right?
okay.
You knew it was them every time they walked out. You heard that song or whatever. So, they had asked to change, walk out to a different song one time, and they told them that they wanted them to walk out to the same song. Something. So I definitely think if you've walked out to it enough and you build that where it follows you, like people hear the song, they're like, oh, that's so and so song, that's my song or whatever.
Yeah,
that I definitely see as like, a thing like Patty walking out to he walked out to the same song all the time.
Yeah,
if he switched it up, I think people would be a little bit like, what's going on here, but also, I mean, is it that big of a deal? No, but obviously he gets the bigger draw. As soon as that song hits, people start the, oh, Patty the Patty.
Yeah.
It's like gets them going. So I see the importance of it.
Yeah, I think the UFC needs to learn from that. So things that the UFC needs to learn from WrestleMania: number one, pick a good walkout song and stick with it. Right?
Yeah.
Pick a good number one.
I think that's more
song.
of like a fighter thing, in a sense.
What do you mean?
Like find a good song that people are feeling, and continue with it.
No. Yes. Well, look, all the things we always say about fighters is like, you need to brand yourself. You need to do this. You need to get out there. You need to promote yourself. All those things. But what I'm saying is, as the UFC now partnering with WWE or being part of the same management, TKO group and all that, they need to do that, man. Like just watching that at WrestleMania and seeing, and like, I know it, everybody knows it, but it's just like, if you get these fighters, you need to say like, hey man, you need to pick that good song and like stick with it. You know what I mean?
I think they should like recommend stuff or whatever, but I definitely wouldn't like the fact if they're like, you have to walk out to this song. I'd be like,
no. They're not going to pick. Yeah, I don't think that they should pick a song, but maybe they would say, like, maybe if you're not someone who's too socially out there, they go, hey, here's a bunch of songs we think would fit with you. But like you said, if you made it to the UFC, you're coming in having the experience of picking a bunch of walkout songs. Just pick one and let's go with it, we will continue some WrestleMania recap in just a second. But what I want to get to now is our guest, because he's here and I'm very excited. He fights next on May 3rd at UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Figueiredo in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know how to say that city name. He made his debut last October on 5 days' notice while traveling something like 36 hours to Riyadh and back. He was with our friend Rafion Stotts. When he was on the podcast, he was telling us all about it. Energy, Charles Johnson was so impressed with this kid as well. He gets the call. He drives over, makes the fight against a fellow prospect, Jake Hadley. He's a very exciting dude, man. This kid, I'm so excited to see him. And I'm so excited to have him on the podcast. I've heard nothing about good things about this kid. Please welcome. He is the baby-faced killer, Cameron Smotherman.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, man. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Look, dude, actually, do you mind turning your camera sideways? Is it possible? If you have it unlocked? Boom.
Oh,
there you go.
That's perfect.
See, this is the thing. When you get young guys, their camera is never on lock.
Mine's always unlocked.
You always know it's an Cam. You always know it's an old person if I say to turn their camera sideways, and then their whole head just turns sideways.
The only thing is I literally just unlocked it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna edit that out, man. Don't worry about that. Cam Smotherman, man, thank you for joining the podcast. Look, I'm very excited to have you on. You're fighting. I'm a Canadian. You're fighting a Canadian, so I don't want to get into a beef with you. But you're fighting Siri City in a big fight, man. This is very exciting for you. But I do want to go back to your first fight because obviously Rafion Stotts says that you're such a great guy. Traveling to Riyadh, traveling back, 5 days notice.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah,
2 days.
That's right.
Yeah.
God dang. Oh,
Oh,
look at the balloons coming
How
up
do
for
we
you.
get balloons?
Did I do
2
it?
days,
Did I do
balloons
it
go,
again?
baby.
2 days. 2 days. It's a
I don't know how
balloon.
that did that.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Look, man, here's the thing. Did you feel like they were setting you up for that? Like, what goes through your head on that? Because you're like, they know that I'm here in Riyadh, or like, how does that feel for you to go out there?
It all happened so fast that I couldn't even. I didn't have time to think about it. I was just going, like it was just go, like because it was Tuesday night Vegas time, but it was like 3 or 4 in the morning in Riyadh,
Yeah.
and when they called, like I woke up, I went to sleep like I want to say like relatively early or something, but normally I'm at that time I'm sleep, and like when I'm sleep. I don't hear my phone ring, and I'm a heavy sleeper. But like I just woke up randomly, and I was just staring at my phone, and then it rang, and I was like, huh, that's weird. And then they're like, what's your weight? And it's like from there, as soon as he was like, what's my weight? It was like I'm up. And I'm like, and they're like, hey, there's an opening. I couldn't find. I just gave him a fake number, and then I like went to like find the scale, and I was like, I don't. Shit, if I'm going, like as soon as I was like, look, I'll make it, and like I didn't know if I would make it or not. I was like, I will make it, and they said, okay, we're booking you a flight. It was like there was no time to think. You just go.
Wow. Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. Like, here's the thing. Did they know you were in Riyadh when they called you?
Um, from what I was told, yeah, they knew. Well, yeah, they knew that I was in Riyadh,
Okay.
and it was just my if Eric Garcia, the promoter of Fury, was there, and it was like, look, Cameron will make the weight. Like he seen me make weight,
Yeah.
and about the same time frame before on the regional scene, he was like, he'll make the weight. And from what I understand, that's what convinced them that I would make it, and they booked it.
That's
It's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy,
wild.
man.
I
Because
was
I
gonna
was wondering,
ask too if you were like training or how your weight was and stuff too, but
he's out there
Oh.
riding camels with Rafion Stotts.
Yeah, no, I was like, I think I had like just no. Actually, this is why I believe in destiny now. Um, like that day, I ate like a pretty big lunch or something, and then I was like, I don't feel like eating dinner. I'm over it. Like I don't, I'll just eat bigger in the morning or something. And that same day is when I got the call, so I'm like, I should starve myself all the time.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, good luck. Hey, here's the thing. You eat very well, my friend.
Yeah.
Are you in Mexico, or were you
Yeah.
in Mexico? Are
No,
you in
I'm in
Mexico now?
Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Oh, because dude, Bam Bam, on this guy's Instagram, he's always posting the best, most delicious looking food. I'm like, God dang. Are you living in Mexico now? You're training there?
Yeah, I've been in Mexico since March.
Okay. And you're
Oh,
training
wow.
with Diego
Okay.
Lopez?
I was training with Diego Lopez, but now I'm training with Francisco Grasso.
Oh,
Um,
very nice.
yeah.
Very cool, man. I know like I
Yeah.
said at intro, Energy, who's a good friend of the podcast as well. He says that you're a great guy, that you were training, very humble, very reserved guy. Look, you're in the UFC now. Do you need to be boisterous and crazy? Like what's the Cam Smotherman we're gonna see now in your return to the octagon?
Um, my mom always says that money doesn't change you, it just makes you more of who you are. So I think you know, I'll be more of me,
Yeah.
maybe when the checks get bigger, I'll be more of an asshole.
All right. All right. That's
Hey, at
good.
least
That's
at
good.
being honest, I like the honesty.
Yeah. Look, man, Rafion Stotts was wanting me to ask you, how much better of a cook is Rafion Stotts than you?
Oh my God, dude.
Way better than you? What's the answer here?
No,
This-
no.
I see this. I
Rafian
see
Stubbs
where this is
cannot
going.
cook. He cannot
Oh,
cook. I'm telling. He cannot cook. He does not know how to cook. He like like if you ask his wife, this is how you know he can't cook. If you ask his wife, she'll say, "Oh yeah, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter how good or how bad the food is. he's literally like a trash can. You just dump it in there. Like he cannot cook. So
Yeah.
like if you can't appreciate food, you can't cook.
Yeah. Good.
So,
How do
are you a cook? Do
I
you
can
cook?
cook. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a
Oh,
great cook.
Okay.
are you learning lots of Mexican cuisine then while you're out there? Like when you come back to the States and stuff and what's the deal? Are you planning to live in Mexico full time? Are you moving back to the States? What's the deal?
So after this fight, I pretty much I'm in Texas, so it's like a lot of Mexican food there anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's kind of comfortable or it's kind of normal for me, like in terms of like the dishes,
Okay.
but the quality is a lot higher here. And I'm not like I'm eating, but whatever I want, and my weight's still dropping. So I think
But
there's
Yeah.
something.
that's the thing, man, because you're
We've
eating.
talked about this a
I'm like,
lot.
are these
Yeah.
old photos? Because this guy's eating a lot, Bam Bam. Like, and it's like good stuff. It's not
Yeah,
like, I watch other fighters on my Instagram and they're eating like, one steak, an egg, and one bean, right?
Yeah.
And this guy's eating like fully loaded tacos that look amazing.
I
That's
gotta
the
go
thing
check
though,
out
right?
this food pictures, man.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's
yeah,
food
no,
porn at its
it
greatest.
is ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting annoyed with myself. Like it's pretty insane. Because
But
Well,
that's the other thing. I eat it all. Like I'm not just like taking it in and like eating a little. No, I finished every plate,
yeah.
all of it.
Wait, there was one day where he like posts something and then after he's like, all right, I had more. And then it's like another full enchilada, right? And I'm like, what the frick? Like, like you're fighting very soon. But that's the thing though, right? Cam, when you're in like I'm in Canada, Bam Bam, obviously in the States, the food is so bad here, man.
Yeah,
Like you can go when I go to Italy, when I go to Spain and stuff like that, even like if I have
yeah.
like allergies and rashes, the minute I land in Italy, I take one bite of pasta and all my allergies go away. I feel so much. I'm like, what the hell's
It's
wrong? Like,
crazy. It really is. Yeah.
yeah. No, it doesn't. It may. I mean, I've always heard. And this is like another reason. Like I wanna start traveling more, because I've always heard, how bad the food is in at home.
yeah,
But it's like for example, like I'll eat 10 tacos, right? Literally, and like I'm gonna get really full, but I don't feel like like the grease and like I feel like wanting to gag, or I
Yeah.
haven't gotten that feeling at all
yeah,
since I'm here, and so it's like I'm able to eat all of this stuff, and my weight is just steadily going down.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It doesn't have all the extra additives in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
like
just
yeah, it's just high quality like meat and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
and you're eating at like truck stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
like,
not
I'll
like
eat
you're
that.
going to
Yeah,
like 5-star restaurants. Like you're just eating normal food, and it's like it's so much healthier. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's a real lesson, man. Like I don't know.
yeah.
Here's the thing, man. You I don't want to bring up a bad thing, but you came up short in your Dana White Contender Series fight.
Cut
Oh
it.
no.
Cut it.
That's
Cut it off.
I'm gone.
sorry.
You
I'm sorry.
know?
No, look, but here's the thing. You come up short in Dana White Contender Series and you still get the call to come in and fight, and then you make the most of it. And that's like freaking the dream. Bam Bam and I, we've interviewed
Yeah.
fighters that have won on Contender Series and not gotten a contract, and they're like fighting on regionals now. And it's like, I don't know what's going to happen with these people. How
Yeah.
like how crazy is it, man? Like that you were able to make the most of it. And why did they call you? Why did they like you to call you and give you that shot?
Yeah. Like I said again, this like I'm like the older I get, the more I believe in destiny. Like, because I gave up hope, after contenders. So they were like, well, if you beat this guy, they had me fight Mondo Gutierrez, and he was on the Ultimate Fighter, and he was on contenders. And they were like, well, if you beat him, like, they'll bring you back. So I beat him, and a great, like crazy finish and nothing. And so then, I'm like, all right, and fighting on the regional scene, you're not making money.
Yeah.
So they keep telling me, oh, just keep going, and it's like it's coming. And I'm like, dude, like I have kids, like I can't afford to just be, chasing a dream, and they don't want me.
Yeah.
And so and it was looking really dire. It really was. And I was really like halfway in, halfway out ever since contender. Like I was trained. Like, those last 3 wins I got in Fury, they were really kind of just off of talent and the hard work I did prior. But I wasn't like locked in or and really giving it my all going into those fights. Um, but and in fact, before I even got the call, I was scheduled to fight for the belt, the Fury belt in December, and I didn't tell my friends or my family, but I was gonna go do that fight, and whether I won or lost, I was done. I was walking away, 100%.
That's
Wow.
crazy, dude. And
Yeah.
that really shows what destiny is, man. Because and just so that people are understanding, so after Dana White Contender Series, you then fight 3 more times and then get that shot. But like you're saying, like you were going to like be out. You're a young man, 27 years old.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, dude, that's crazy. Now, how does it work? You get that first fight, you get a contract of 4 fights,
Yeah,
and then so after the first fight, so now you're on your second fight. This is, and then away you
correct.
go, dude. Crazy, right?
So
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when you got that call though, like you said, you kind of got up, got ready, got pumped. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the
Hmm.
call you've been waiting for. So when you get to that fight, obviously you're locked in then at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You're
like
locked in.
whatever.
There's no
all of
more
that
like
was it happened so fast.
so fast.
I
Yeah.
didn't have time to think about being locked in or not like that. It
Yeah.
was literally just like I'm a man on it, like cut all this weight and go fight.
Yeah, but the feeling was what I'm saying is like the feeling was different than the previous 3 that you said, you were kind of
Oh yeah,
half in,
yeah,
half out, and even still all the work, you put in or not. Obviously, you couldn't put in that much work. It was 2 days notice, but
right.
Yeah.
at that moment you were like man on a mission.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It was definitely it was like destiny. It was like, okay, I'm meant to be here.
yeah.
Absolutely amazing, man. And now you've had
That is fair.
7 months to train for your next fight. Did you want to fight sooner, or is this like a little bit long for you?
Yeah, no, so I fought in October, and either by the end of October, early November, I was asking to fight. Like, in fact, I
Uh,
might have said like either the date or like not too long after my fight, I was like, can I fight December? And then I was like, okay, well, Fucker Hernandez fought was the main event of that card, and I saw he got booked for February. So I was like, well, can I fight in February? Because I don't know how it all works or whatever. So I've been trying to fight. I don't ever want to wait this long again,
right,
like
Yeah.
right, right.
ever.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, man, because now you have the opportunity, like this renewed drive, the renewed focus now to be able to come
Yeah.
out there. I'm so excited to see what happens, man. What do you think about your opponent, Siri City? Because he's a guy also comes off Contender Series. He's a young hot prospect as well. What are your thoughts about him as an opponent?
I think this fight was made because they're expecting violence. That I feel like this is a fun fight to make. I feel
Right.
like the way we match up, like I feel like it's nearly impossible for this fight to be boring. And I think he's really tough. I think I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I make the mistake of reading comments online and stuff. So it's like if you read
Mm,
comments online,
Yeah.
they act like he's not that good, or I'm even worse. But no, he's really good, and he's really tough. But I mean I think that I match up well with him.
Yeah.
yeah. And this is in, I don't know how to say this city. How do you say this American city? Des Moines? Des
Dude,
Moines?
I've never even heard of
Des
this.
Moines.
I'm American, so I don't know. I didn't even know. I don't know all 50 states. Like honestly, like if you asked me to write down all 50 states, I probably couldn't.
Yeah, that's
Des
fine.
Moines.
We'll skip the test at the end of the podcast that we were going to do with you.
Yeah.
Des Moines, Iowa? Des Moines. That sounds
Des
right.
Moines.
Des
Yeah.
Moines?
Oh, you say the N? I've been saying Des Moines. Des Moines.
Des Moines?
Des
Whatever.
Moines.
Who
I don't
cares?
know.
You just, yeah. I mean, I guess you're not getting out on the crowd going, "Hello, Des Moines," and they're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell is Des Moines?"
There's like who?
Yeah.
At least you're not in the Apex.
Yeah. Really
Right?
excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty garbage. The Apex is terrible.
Got
So
about
I'm glad.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're
full
there.
arena. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your walkout song?
Damn, I keep forgetting. I need to figure it out. I don't know.
Oh
I
my
need to
God.
figure them out.
We were
just
yeah.
talking
here's
to
the
this.
We were just talking, man. I know I asked you before. I know you didn't watch WrestleMania either. Do you watch wrestling at all, or you just think it's lame? Like, what's the?
No.
It's just stupid.
Well, I just I stopped following it. I used to, but yeah, I just
What was
know.
your prime time? NWO time?
No, I'm not that old, dude.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Damn.
that's
Oh,
crazy.
oh,
Yeah, relax.
This podcast, get
Relax,
this guy out of
Grandpa.
here.
Yeah.
what the hell?
What?
Yeah, no, I can't. Like my era was, or when I was watching it was like
Young John
when at
Cena?
the end of like oh my god, I'm brain farting. What was the crew with like X Pac, China?
Degeneration
Chip-
X?
Yeah, I came at like the end of that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's around NWO time, you bastard. It's not that.
No,
long.
NWO is that's no.
Maybe
I came at the end. So
maybe
All right,
like
all right.
the old NWO where they're
Yeah,
they
right,
all
Yeah.
have gray hair
yeah.
walking out with NWO.
With
yeah,
with all
like
their
Ric
knee
Flair was
braces.
already old by the
Yeah,
time I was watching.
Yeah, sure. Look, man, what I was saying though in watching WrestleMania on the weekend because it's on Netflix, obviously UFC is going to be on Netflix very soon, right? There, that's got to be the deal that's coming about.
We're calling it. Yep.
The importance for you, Cam, of having a good walkout song to get the crowd pumped. I feel like that's huge for you, man. So, what has been a song that you've used in the past?
Yeah.
So I change my song every single fight.
Really ruining this
yeah.
podcast, Cam. I'll
That's
tell you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I do
You
that
can't
too.
do that because you can't.
I
I
did
know
that.
Bam Bam does that too, but you can't do that because you need the crowd the minute they hear the song to go,
Mm.
"That's Cam Smotherman."
See, I've thought about that, and I've thought about like having like a signature, but then it's kind of turned into fuck the crowd because I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm fine. So I started choosing songs for me.
Yeah. Whatever gets you
Like
going, right?
yeah, and so because I'll choose a song based on what's happening in my life, so like how it relates to me at this moment.
Nice.
So that's why I still don't know my walkout song because I'm like, normally it's like I'm listening to music and then it's like, oh, like this clicks with me right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, if you end up
totally
walking out
understand
to the
that.
John Cena song, I'm gonna know it's because of me that you did that. You're
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
I don't have
100%
anything.
you.
I'm just gonna go with John Cena.
Yeah.
Here's last question I want to ask you, man, or a couple of last questions, but there was a thing that happened where like was it CM Punk was talking to one of the guys, what the hell's his name? Seth Rollins, and they're talking about fighting in the UFC.
Mhm.
As a young UFC fighter who has done everything in his life to get to this stage, to get to that highest moment, does it piss you off when like CM Punk and Seth Rollins talk about wanting to be in the UFC, or are you like, oh, that's great, it's going to bring more eyes to me?
Nah, I mean, for me, I mean, it's not like, I mean, realistically, it's not like this is a real sport, you know? Like, it, it's entertainment, you know what I mean? So it's like if they can entertain people, there's no issue. Like, it's kind of like I feel the same way about MMA guys that want to do boxing. It's like if people are gonna watch, then there's no reason not to. The only thing that makes me cringe is when like if Tito Ortiz wants to fight again, it's like why?
How
Like,
dare you?
who's gonna watch
He's
that?
he's the main event of the GFL, you bastard. Like that's
Exactly.
yeah. No, wait a second. Why is MMA not a sport?
I mean, because in what other sport do you get to like? Okay, well, let me choose my words carefully.
Oh, don't worry, nobody's watching this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I mean, in terms of like how you progress in MMA is like you go from fighting in front of nobody to being thrown into a Super Bowl every weekend, or you can win all you want, and if certain people don't like you, then you're not getting certain opportunities. But in every other sport, it's like if you win, you're undeniable. You're gonna get paid the most. You're going to like in MMA, you're selling something. It's not about just winning or losing. You have to excite. Like you can be the best fighter in the world, but if you're boring and nobody wants to watch you, then it doesn't matter. I mean, what sport is like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally
That's
understand.
an
that. I
interesting
agree.
take, because it's funny. I was just watching a Chael Sonnen interview where he said that the promoting yourself is so important. He says if you're offered 5 fights or 5 big interviews, take the 5 big interviews. And I was like, oh, that's really weird. But that's almost like what you're saying, like that promotional side is so important, more so than the fighting that you do,
Yeah, I mean, it's
because you
like
need to get on the radar of Dana White and Hunter Campbell kind of thing. That's what you're saying, because
yeah,
those 2 guys
exactly.
run everything.
Yeah, it's about who can bring the most eyes in, and that's what's gonna get you paid.
Yeah.
Patty Pimblett is a great example. Like, I mean, he's not that great of a fighter, but he makes people watch him, because he gets so fat and all this and that. But it's like that, but people want to watch that, so he gets paid
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And I
Right,
mean,
right.
that's I'm not gonna knock it, but it's just not a sport. Like I feel like your feelings get hurt if you think of this as like, okay, this is a normal sport. It's like, no, it's literally about eyes.
Yeah.
Right. You need to come
Or
back
how
to
they can
America and get
sell.
fat.
Right?
Stupid good food in Mexico keeping you all trim and ripped. Like, it's not
Yeah,
good for you.
right.
Or you need to get that money and become the asshole Cam that you were alluding to.
Hey, I'm trying. I'm trying
Either
my
way.
Yeah.
best.
Either
You're
way.
getting there.
Yeah.
Bam, before we let this man go, is there anything that you wanted to ask him?
I just really appreciate you coming on and talking with us. It's been great to hear more about you and your story and everything, and I look forward to watching you go out there and perform.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, dude. Cam, anything that you want to say to the fans, viewers, and listeners that are watching? Because in truth, I was looking for a lot of stuff on you, man, and I don't see a lot of interviews with you. I don't see, like, I didn't know what your attitude was going to be or your personality. So is there anything that you wanted to say to fans that maybe they don't know about you?
Apparently I'm a big nobody, and you shouldn't expect much,
No.
is what I just heard.
Dang!
No, I'm
Damn
saying,
it,
like,
Timmy!
no,
Damn
here's
it,
the
Timmy.
thing. Because you know what pisses me off? There's, like you said, like, people are always just paying attention to the same people. They don't like it's so hard to find stuff. The other person I was supposed to have on the podcast with you today was Chuck Buffalo, Charles Radke, and the media hates that guy. Like, they really give that guy a hard time. They don't want to interview him at all. But for you, you're like a young and up and coming guy, and that's why I always like having like the people that like I can't find out a lot about. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a good
I don't know,
opportunity to get your name out there and help you
Yeah, like
help you promote you and get people to know you and know a side of you and everything. So
yeah. But so yeah, I apologize. Don't take that in a bad way.
No,
But
no,
like,
I'm
but
just.
what do you?
no,
I mean, I'm not gonna
Forget you,
cry
Timmy.
with the camera on. Like, I'll
No,
wait.
turn it
I have
away.
some
Turn it away.
class.
No, but is there anything that people don't know about you that you would want people to know? You know?
Not really. I mean, no. I feel like I'm a really just I'm just a
Just a
chill
normal,
guy. You know.
normal
yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
just chill
All right.
guy. Yeah.
Just a
Well,
chill
I tell
guy.
you what, you have a good personality. You definitely have a very like funny in a sense. Like, I'm gonna turn this off and then I'll cry. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I like it.
good
Yeah, it wasn't a joke
personality.
either.
And the thing is that Cam is the kind of guy that the media are gonna love too. Like,
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
pre-fights and in the post-fights, like, they're gonna really get to know you and like you because you have that likable personality. So that's good too, because that means they're gonna get more out of you and then try to
I'm looking
spotlight
forward to you
more.
making more money, so that way we can
Dude.
see more
Yeah.
and more of you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you'll never
That's
hear
what
from me
that's what I'm
again
looking-
once I make money.
Rafion Stotts did want me to ask, when are you getting horchatas with him next?
Oh yeah, when I get back. So yeah, that's like our thing. Like there's this restaurant. It's called a Homestead in Houston, and they have the best frozen horchata. Like I'm like, man, just thinking about it. See how happy I got just thinking about it. It's oh my yeah. We're gonna drink those until we have to Uber.
Wait, is there alcohol in a horchata?
These ones. That's what makes them so good. Yeah.
I was like, how are you just getting drunk on like a non-alcoholic
Yeah,
beverage?
right. Just a bunch of milk. Just get tit faced.
Last question, man. And I feel like I might know the answer to this, but I want to ask it to you. It's a question we ask almost everybody that comes on the podcast. It's a question my mom used to ask me
Yes,
almost
you're
every
cute.
day. Oh, well, thank you. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a question my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. Scale of 1 to 10. Cam Smotherman, babyface killer. How happy are you?
That's a good question. And you know what? It's something I let's see. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a good question. How happy am I? I feel like I'm pretty happy. You know what? I'm gonna say probably like a 8.5, 9.
Hmm,
Cause I miss my family, but I'm living the life that I've worked so hard for.
nice. And your family is in Texas? Is that where they are?
Yeah, they're still
Oh,
in
I
they're
see.
still in
Okay, okay.
Houston.
And how many
You're doing
children
it.
do you have?
2.
Oh, very nice. How old are they? No, we can't get
I'll
it to
see if the
happen.
balloons are gonna
Dang it!
come
Yeah.
again. But I have a 2-year-old and a like 10 month. What month is it? Yeah, like a 10 month.
I'll edit that
Oh,
out so it looks
that's
good in
awesome.
case anyone's watching.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I'm the
awesome.
dad. I'm not supposed to remember these things.
Of course not, dude. Of course not.
Well, hey,
Look,
all the hard work you're putting in is going. You're doing it for them too. So it's all going to pay off. Like I said, I'm excited to see you make more and more money, so I can see more and more of your personality.
Yeah, I'm over the edge when the shades are on inside. That's when you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
that's what you need to do, man.
I'll
Look,
keep a lookout.
Cam, the babyface killer, Cameron Smotherman, fights October. No, when are you fighting? May 3rd at UFC
Jeez.
Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. You're fighting in Des Moines, Iowa.
Or someplace similar.
Something like that. Whatever
Somewhere in
city that is.
Iowa.
We don't know where that is, but it's
Uh,
got to have a UFC cage somewhere. There's an
Yeah.
octagon somewhere in that city. You'll find it. Good luck to you, my friend, man. Really pleasure meeting you. I really appreciate you taking the time. Good luck in this big fight, man. This is a big thing for you to set your career out on the path that you know it should be, man. You're destined for it, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Take care, buddy. Have a good one. See ya.
See ya.
You too. See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Boom.
Good one.
That is Cam Smotherman. What a cool dude, man.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he had a great personality. I think people
Very,
need
very
to
cool.
keep a really close eye on this kid. I think he's gonna
Definitely,
do
man.
big things.
This is the thing too, though. But here's the thing: the media is so finicky and horrible
Yeah.
that the problem is he needs to get the right media person or the right questions to bring his personality out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you can have these idiot people, or they can have a chip on their shoulder, or whatever the hell, and it can really tank you, man. That's what I don't like, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm excited to
Well,
talk to
'cause
Chuck
it's-
Buffalo as well.
It's because for them, it's about them. It's about
Yeah.
them being the media and about them moving up in the media world instead of it being, a co-thing or whatever, or more about the
Right.
fighter. It really should be about the fighter. It's their time,
Definitely.
their moment, And
Yeah.
I think if you do a good interview that's focused on them and everything, it's only going to lift you up too. So
Yeah. And I apologize. I didn't put the scroll down while he was there, but he's at Lil Campster, LILCAMPSTER, for those that are on audio only, at Lil Campster on Instagram. And that's where you see all those good food pics, man.
I definitely got to go follow him. I want to see these
Dude.
food pics. I'm a
Dude,
foodie
the
guy.
tacos
So.
are crazy. I'm in Toronto, Canada. I can't find like a taco place like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I can find like truly authentic tacos.
Yeah.
And when I do go into Mexican restaurants, it's never Mexican people working there. So I'm like, pass. And then I just walk out. I actually did that recently. I went to a Mexican restaurant and I went in and there wasn't like one Mexican person to be found. And I'm like, no, I think this might be a franchise. I was out of there. Like, no way, man. I went when I was in New Brunswick. I was looking for food before the Fight League Atlantic show, and there was like a truck, like a food truck on the side of the road that was selling Filipino food.
Okay.
And then I pull over, and it's like this little old Filipino lady and her son, and they're just making like authentic Filipino food in this truck.
That's awesome.
Freaking greatest food, man. Like nowhere else I was gonna go would I find something like that authentic and different, you know? Like I was like, what am I gonna go get a burger? No, and then I have this like chicken adobo and like a lumpia. They're the lumpia is the spring rolls kind of thing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The greatest. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about go back to a few of the WrestleMania things if you don't mind.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then, because I just want to say like a few things that I feel like the UFC should learn from this, you know? So first thing we said was a song. So I like what Cam Smotherman, because I just feel like you need a song. Anyways,
I understand that though, like where he's saying, you know, what he says about it, the song and everything. Like he changes every
Yeah.
time because it's on his mood, where he's
Yes.
at in life, what's really hitting, you know, his emotions and getting him
Right.
fired up in that moment. So totally understand changing the song every time.
However, if you have a song that pumps the crowd out where they know it's Cam Smotherman coming to the octagon, and before anybody even shows his picture, when that song comes on, you're like, oh, I know this is Cam Smotherman. I love this freaking dude. And
There's definitely something in that.
And the crowd goes, oh, Cam
Yeah.
Smotherman. That's going to pump you up, dude. Whether that song is now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely something in that for sure.
All right. Spent too long on that. Second thing, a walkout ramp.
Oh,
They need
you think they need the ramp?
They need a cooler walkout ramp with the Jumbotron.
Really?
Dude, like ONE FC
I know,
it,
like certain
Bellator
promotions
has
have
it.
that. Yeah. BKFC has it.
Yes.
So that I think it's cool, definitely.
Why?
But I do like especially in like arena, the longer walk that you
That's
have,
fine.
like going through the crowd and everything like that. I like that a lot.
But you can still have that, but you can have the goddamn Jumbotron behind you with some pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
No?
Possibly.
What would be the reason to not have it? That's what I
feel
don't
if
understand.
you have that, it's like a straight shot thing. Like there's no like you can't have like the turns and zigzags. It's got to be like you're walking out and it's a straight walk.
Where are you talking about the zigzag at when you're in the arena and you're zigzagging through?
Yeah, like when you walk out, you walk out
And
of the arena, boom, you walk out the thing, and it's like you kind of turn right away. You walk all these fans, make a left, and you're at the cage. Yeah.
Oh, because you mean then where would the Jumbotron be? Because it might be weird. Like if it's like
the Jumbotron
or
like the raised floor or whatever. Usually stuff like that is like front, pushing forward or whatever right away.
Sacrifices need to be made, Bam Bam.
I like it. I like the walk of the UFC right now.
But it's
not
plain.
that I don't like the Jumbotron thing or something, but
it's plain, it's boring. I just feel like when I watch that, and the only reason I'm saying all this stuff is because I'm saying, well, it's the same company now. TKO is both companies, so like you've got the Jumbotrons in the back. Just go hook them up.
Yeah, you're saying the WWE effect.
Just a little bit more pizzazz, but like you said, ONE FC, Bellator, PFL, like they all do that, man. So I want to see walkout ramps with pyrotechnics. I feel like,
I want fire.
Yeah, like Kane.
Fire
like
when you walk out.
Yeah, like when Bam Bam gets in, I want him to go boom, and then there's
on
it. Here's the next one. Third thing, national anthem needs to be played.
I like that. I agree with that.
I feel like starting off the show with a singer, which could be, at this point, you're going to get famous singers that will do it.
Yeah.
Come out and sing the national anthem, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially the pay-per-view events.
Yes.
The ones in arenas and stuff, Apex, maybe not. Maybe you do like a recording, but as long as that national anthem is played, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Sure, and for all these things,
someone gonna come out and sing the national anthem for the 15 people. I mean, come on.
Just get them to sing it. Just pull out who's the best singer here. No,
exactly.
And these things I'm saying could be more for the numbered pay-per-views, maybe, or if you want to start that way, eventually you bring it to. Because sure, maybe I'm not bringing all my pyrotechnics and the Jumbotron to Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know, but
for sure for the pay-per-views, I think
for sure for the pay-per-views. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely, I like that a lot.
Where am I at? Number 4, story vignettes. The WWE does a really good job of putting together like a bunch of stories for every fight. Like the little video packages.
Yeah, I feel like there's that when you for the UFC right before you walk out. They you're talking through the interview. They show like little clips of you. Tell a little bit about you, and then and then the other guy. Yeah.
I want him better.
Yeah,
I want him better, and I want a little bit more story, not just about Bam Bam the fighter, but I want Bam Bam versus Robbie Lawler. Like I want a little bit more of the fight coming up, not just Bam Bam. Just a little bit better. That's all. Number 5. Pre and post show on YouTube. I want a pre and a post show on YouTube, Bam Bam, where everybody can watch, because for WWE, I realized there was a pre-show and a post-show on YouTube to complement the Netflix event.
Okay.
In Canada, I know that I think where you are, like ESPN or something, has the pre and post show. That's where you see those people sitting down in this thing. We don't get that here. And and that's probably a TV deal thing or something.
Well, Timmy B sounds like that's an area
me
that
problem.
Needs to be, no. Yeah, damn you, Canada. No. Sounds like that's an opportunity of us doing a pre and post fight show.
Yeah. Yes. But my wife will kill me if I commit to that amount of time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So that idea is coming on.
But it was nice to think about for the 5 seconds that we had.
For 2 seconds, yeah. And I like that. I like the pre-show and the post-show that was run by WWE. That said too, yeah, sure. There's a lot of like watch parties and stuff like that. I never watch any of that crap. Pre and a post-show that's done, that's official, and put it on YouTube so that everybody can see it, regardless of like what cable television package I have, regardless of like whatever. But putting that out there free was very nice. You know, it really led a lot in, and then the post had a lot of stuff to kind of end your night. I like that.
Yeah.
That was good. Commentators and announcers is the last thing. What did I want to say about this?
I don't know. You want it to be like WWE where they go into the octagon and you can like drop kick them and stuff?
Yeah. No, what did I want to say there? I don't think. Oh, I know what it was. Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
You don't need 3 commentators.
Oh, how many are we going with?
2, man.
2.
WWE also does the 3 a little bit, but it's unnecessary. 2 people is more than enough, and we've had some UFC events recently where they only had 2, and I don't feel like you lose anything.
Yeah,
and I feel it gives a little.
What
bit
about
better
having
structure.
the guy on the side that they bring in? They did Trevor Whitman for a while. Now they have
Dean Thomas.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
That's okay, I guess.
They're kind of giving more of like an insight of like what they're doing in the fight, I guess.
Yeah,
or
I don't know.
Technique.
Maybe I should edit this. Maybe I should edit this one out because I forget why I wrote commentators and announcer. There was something about it that I thought was something. There was something, but
why are they there? Why are they there?
What did I not like? No, maybe it was a little bit of a negative. I felt like in the WWE, you always used to have like a bad guy commentator.
Yeah, I think that's
and now they just have like 3 guys that are all good guys, and they're all just like hyping up the good guys and mad at the bad guys. And I'm like, why don't you have the bad guy that is like the reverse? You know what I mean? I always like that, like a Bobby the Brain Heenan kind of thing.
You can't do that with MMA though. I mean, you could.
You can have. Okay, hold on. We're developing this thought, but you can have people with more of a. Yeah, I guess not. But you can have people with more of an opinionated outlook. Like that's why I do like Dominic Cruz.
Okay.
Dominic Cruz a little bit more of a straight shooter, kind of like. You know what I mean? I like when Dominic Cruz and Bisping have banter back and forth. Because you can tell they don't like one another, or you know what I mean, or they do have a
conflict
little bit
between what they're thinking.
Conflict, yes, conflict between what they're thinking. Yeah, maybe. Okay, hold on. Let's re-edit this whole thing.
But then again, how do you it's
force that?
Well, no, you don't want to force that. And in the end, it's like, isn't this the fighter's moment? You want to be into the fight, and obviously, the people who don't really know want to know what's going on. You don't want to be like watching the fight and have these 2 guys going back and forth about like whatever.
You're right.
Like there's occasionally times where like you hear the commentary like say something about some other thing from a while ago, and they kind of go back and forth on it for a little bit, and it's like, hey, but what the fuck are you guys doing? You know, like, hey, there's a fight going on here that you're missing out on because you're too busy talking about this. So, I mean, I get it.
Yes. So. I just mean I don't need 3 people, But especially if I have 3 people, I don't need 3 vanilla. Like, I need one of them has to be spicy. Like someone has to bring something new to the table.
Got it.
Whatever that is. I don't know. I just think your commentary team needs to be a little bit diverse in their opinions or whatever. And I know you don't want to force it. I know the fight's all about them, but similarly, there's fights where like you can tell both commentators are 100% on Volkanovski's side.
And
you're like,
yeah. I mean, that's guaranteed.
You need to mix that up. I guess. What did you think about Cam Smotherman saying this isn't a sport?
Actually, more and more lately, I'm beginning to see that more and more, like for myself.
Interesting,
like,
right?
This is not a sport, it's not. It's entertainment, and it's it's hard, like in a sense in my mind, because you're growing up wanting to do this sport, quotations, sport that but he's right, and more and more I've heard this about MMA in general, and it's just that it's not really a sport. It's entertainment, and that's why fighters are getting screwed in a sense. Not getting the pay and stuff that they deserve, or more pay and more opportunities and stuff like that to fight for titles and things like that, because this isn't a sports entertainment, and they only they want the guys who are gonna bring the eyes to it. And like you said, if you could be winning on a killer win streak, but you kind of have a boring style, like they're not gonna give you the title shot. They're gonna kind of delay that as much as they can, because they want the guy who's making the noise and everything. So yeah, it's crazy. Wild.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah. No, I get it. I understood it when Cam said it, but I understand it even a little bit more now when you're saying it.
Yeah,
I think you raise a really good point when you talk about the title shot. Title shot does not necessarily go to the guy that's maybe most deserving or on the biggest win streak or whatever. It's very subjective into how like fights get booked and whatever. Whereas in other sports, it's like, well, the championship is there. You know what I mean?
Well,
so,
also too, like you think like I never really thought of it like this until just recently, but like the NFL and football, you're playing American football. You're playing, you're playing all these teams and everything for the ultimate title or whatever. Or with soccer, or you play, whether it's each certain thing. There's different ones, but each team is in every one, and you're playing with certain titles at the opportunity to win, every title for whatever thing. So in MMA, there's not that. You're fighting for this promotion that's locked you down for
right,
or whatever, when we're technically private contractors. So you just should have the opportunity ultimately to win the title in multiple organizations, or have, multiple titles, or the best titles for the best fighters to be ultimately the best. So, it's just a strange thing that as of lately I've, come to realize more and more, and it's just that it's more entertainment than sport.
Yeah, I've come to realize that.
Touching on that too is definitely an eye opener that, like, more and more people are beginning to see it, especially the younger generation.
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. Like, it's funny. It's funny too, man, because like Cam Smotherman is so much younger than me, to where he doesn't even know NWO. Shit,
that's a shame.
That really is a shame. That really
is. With some of the highlight times.
Oh my God, the best. Look, that's it for the show, Bam Bam. Next week, like I said, Daniel James, the Predator, the American Predator. Daniel James, he is going over to Ryzen to destroy everybody in Japan. He's going to win that heavyweight Grand Prix, and I can't wait to see it. But he comes on our podcast first, so I'm very excited. And then, whether it's next week or the week after, Chuck Buffalo, God damn it, I will get Chuck Buffalo before I die, Bam Bam. That's the goal. This ship doesn't stop till Chuck Buffalo gets on. Guys, we are out of here. Bam Bam, thank you very much for a good show, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See you later.
Later.